When you freshly hit level 89/90, you still want to pick up the free item level 560 job gear from Rasood in Ardshore Lane as a starter for 10, but mainly as it is a beautiful glamour. At this point you have a Gill route and a tombstone/battle route. If you've Gill to burn, then you can immediately buy the latest crafted gear, which is item level 610, which will skip a lot of steps and will get you into all the current content, including most party finder groups for starting the current Savage tier. Please ensure you use a site like Universe Sales to buy the gear from the server with the lowest prices. I'll link to my saving Gill guide for more details on this if you're not privy. Without spending Gill, there's a number of gear avenues. I'll touch on most of the options, but then summarise with a streamlined approach at the end of the vid. 1. 570 gear can now be acquired from sacks of nuts vendors in Ardshore Lane, with the currency being gained via hunts. I'll link to my hunt train guide as they are very profitable and efficient. 2. 580 gear can be brought from the market board or gained from the first 4 circles raids from Aphroditeos, which can be run on repeat to acquire tokens to trade with Gill in Razat-Tan for 580 gear. 580 market board gear can be traded with Rashti in Razat-Tan for 590 upgrades. You need the gear and the Crucible Rain, which is also purchased from Rashti for Tombs of Astronomy. 580 accessories can also be found in the Zodiac X trial. 3. Tombstone 590 gear is acquired via Chianti in Razat-Tan for Tombstones of Astronomy. Astronomy tombs can be amassed via your daily roulettes, or more quickly via hunt trains, which will also allow you to amass far more in a day than what the roulettes do. The 590 gear can be upgraded to 600 with Caldine in Razat-Tan. Required upgrade mats can be acquired via the 2nd and 3rd circles of the Savage raids from 6.0, or via the 6.1 Alliance raid Aglair, or via the same hunt vendor as the 570 gear for sacks of nuts in Ardshore Lane. 4. The new dungeon, the Fell Court of Troya, can be spammed for 595 gear, useful if you're doing the dungeon anyway, but not necessary. 5. Simultaneously while doing roulettes and or the hunt, you'll earn Tombstones of Causality, which can be traded again with Chianti and Razat-Tan, this time for item level 620 gear. Causality are however capped at 450 a week, so it'll take a bit of time to buy this. The new normal Abyssus raids drop tokens, 1 per raid per week, which can be traded with Gill in Razat-Tan under Unsung Relics of Abyssus exchange for item level 610 gear. 6. All further upgrades can only be required via the new 5th to 8th circle Savage raids. This includes upgrade mats to trade item level 620 to 630 gear and straight item level 630 raid drop gear. Weapons. Notable exceptions include for the 590 weapon, you'll need to spam the normal 4th circle raid 4 times to get the 4 unsung blades, which can be traded with Gill for Discal Tombstones, and then trading that and Astronomy Tombs with Chianti for the weapon. Note, the Discal Tombstone can also be sourced straight up from the 2nd circle Savage raid. In a similar fashion, the 620 weapons require getting 7 unsung blades, this time from the new 8th circle normal mode to trade with Gill for an ultralight tombstone. Again, this can be sought quicker via the straight up drop from the 6th circle Savage. Kicker being for normal mode that you are locked to only 1 unsung blade per week, so yes, this will take 7 weeks to acquire. Upgrading the 620 weapon to 630 is currently only achievable via getting an upgrade mat from the 7th circle Savage. The current Extreme Trial Storm's Crown drops a 615 weapon, with the previous Ensinger dropping 595 and Heidelin dropping 580. The best in slot eye level 635 weapon is only acquirable via the Savage version of the 8th circle raid. Recommended non-Gill, non-Savage orientated approach. 1. Grab your 560 gear once you hit level 89/90 for free. Then, simultaneously, do your duty roulettes and or the hunts to amass astronomy, plus cap your weekly causality tombs. Use these to buy 590 gear and 620 gear. Once at item level 565, run 4th circle normal 4 times to get your 590 weapon, and the Alliance raid Aglair once for the coin to upgrade it to 600. Don't bother with other 590 gear upgrades. Upon reaching item level 575, start running the normal raids 5th through to 8 circles to get weekly 610 normal raid gear. Next, once at item level 600, optionally grab a 615 weapon from the latest Extreme, Storm's Crown, to tide you over until you reach the 7 weeks for the 620, or if you don't fancy an Extreme, stick with the 600 or look at buying a 610 market board weapon. Continue to gradually fill your boots with the 620 tome gear. After 7 weeks of 8th circle normal, grab your 620 weapon, especially prioritising this if you're still sitting on a 600 weapon. Finally, wait for patch 6.3 to start, which will enable you to acquire 620 to 630 upgrade mats from the next Alliance raid and hunts. Or, for those savage inclined, once you hit the party finder demanded item level, assuming you're not in a static, which at the moment is about item level 610, then start the current savage tier with the 5th circle savage for the 630 gear drops. Best in slot gear for the tier will assumedly consist of a mixture of 630 savage gear, 630 upgraded tomb gear and the 635 savage weapon. Though if you're not into savage, then the pure Tombs of Causality gear would be more than sufficient for all content bar potential future ultimates up until the next tier comes out in patch 6.4. If you are after best in slot, then take care with which 620 gear you buy first, prioritising the pieces which form part of best in slot and won't be replaced later with raid drop gear. A resource like the Balance Discord has great lists for best in slot gear pieces for each job. I'll link in the description. From a Materia perspective, I personally would only meld the latest Materia 10s into 610 plus gear, slotting some Materia 8s into lower gear only if you are going to challenge the latest X trial, preventing you wasting time or Gill on gear melds which will be swiftly replaced. Link to my more in-depth Materia guide in the description. All done. Like and subscribe to complete the duty.